Under the Influencers. You're not weekly, but maybe at least regular dose of UTI. Uh,
What's that mean?
this is UTI.
Yeah, I know what a UTI is. Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, I know you know what a UTI is.
Hey, can we start over?
This guy knows he knows yeast infections as well.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, this has been great.
Today with us, we have local phenom, what Matt Owens calls the best host. Not New Orleans' best host, the best host. Very funny guy, Alex Cureau.
You hear that, Marcus Bond?
Alex,
Yeah.
we appreciate you adjusting your entire schedule just to be here today.
Fuck off.
We're glad. We're glad just to get you in.
I know. Actually, you know what? No, hold on. I noticed when I walked in, they're like, "Yeah, we did it Friday for him, and he's fucking late." You know how self-conscious I was. I was giving updates I never do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing was Alex hit me up yesterday and was like, you mind if we do it at 4:30 instead of 3:30? And I didn't respond to him at all. And then so today he's like, oh yeah, I'll be there by 4. No, right in the middle.
Dude, it's
right in the middle.
But we are starting right at 4:30.
He hit one of those New Orleans potholes and it fucking took his whole shit out of commission.
I'm not kidding you. I've never seen. It really was nuts because I have to come from Baton Rouge right now. The traffic was absolutely the worst I've ever seen it. We're not going to talk about traffic on this podcast.
No.
Okay.
We're not talking.
Okay.
You wanted to expound though.
Yeah. No. Expunge?
No, we'll expunge. I wish I could get expunged.
Sounds sexual. Is that
that if I said I wanted to get sponged.
Expunge though sounds like my girl expunged me last night.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's dirty. So Alex, you're coming off some big shit, man. You've recently opened for Rich Voss.
Richard.
Dick Voss.
Dick Voss.
As well as shooting star Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Who's got the bigger dick?
Matt Owens.
Yeah, Matt. Okay. All right.
Yeah, man, those were cool. Rich was a lot of fun. You know, Schultz is one of the best in the business right now. The whole group was so supportive at that show. Doing the Orpheum in front of my family and adoring fan.
Yeah, that's
was
awesome.
good. Yeah, those were cool. Those were cool shows.
Adoring fan.
And they were good for. It's like one of those things where nothing feels. I mean, the Schultz show in particular, like nothing feels too big now. Does that make sense? Like nothing. I could be asked to go do anywhere with anybody, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I got this. So.
Well, you did the Super Bowl party with
Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Sugar Bowl. I know nothing about sports, so one bowl is the next to me.
Well,
If
I can't smoke it, I don't want to go.
Yeah, or cereal. Love a good cereal bowl. So yeah, that was a huge. The Sugar Bowl thing was a huge crowd. Yeah.
No. So I didn't do like the Sugar Bowl. I did comedy for each team.
Oh, okay.
Before magician.
I saw that. Before a magician?
Yeah. So that was, you think you're doing, like, they tell you how much they're going to pay you. And you're like, that's ridiculous. Thank you. And then you do the shows and you're in front of a team and you write jokes and then you get off and then you realize you just opened for a fucking magician.
Yeah.
And it really brings you back down. The magician's just up there killing. Be like, look, I stuck this knife up my ass and I didn't bleed. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's wild. It's the opposite of sword swallowing.
Sword swallowing.
Yeah.
He actually swallows the sword, it comes out.
God damn, that dude do well in prison. Like, fellas, you want to see some magic?
His pant budget is out of this world.
I bet. What about his jumpsuit budget, though?
Yeah. You got to buy a whole new jumpsuit. You can't just keep patching it.
Dude,
or is there just a flap
You
now?
can, because you've got an endless supply of handkerchiefs. So.
Like when he farts, it just like flap.
Yeah.
So that's just the knife hole.
If you get your prison jumpsuit with pre-made butt flaps, that is not a good look.
You know what? You're preparing yourself. Because how long do you think it would take you to fuck a guy in prison?
Well, I think there are two different distinct positions when it comes to prison sex.
I think you just got to give in. If these like, I'm gonna get that ass, you go, okay. Do you think that scares them? Like, if you're like, yes, this is why I fucking murdered those people.
I'm not sure.
I murdered those people to get ass raped in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you like, do they go like, oh, never mind, you queer, and they're like,
That was the whole goal.
you ruin it
Yeah.
for them. They're like, oh, I didn't want you to like it. But if you're like, yeah, how long would it take you? Like, how long would it take you legitimately to start? It would take me maybe a little longer to accept, but to do it, I mean, first day.
Like to fuck or
If
get.
I'm only there for 30 days, I'm like, this is going to be a practice in abstinence.
Yeah,
But if I'm there for
Yeah.
7 years,
I'm gonna
A
CO
year?
down, a lady CO down in the shower.
oh no,
if
you're
it's
not.
30 days.
No, you're not. You're gonna fuck a dude. We're not talking about a lady CO. Who do you think you
Yeah,
are?
we're talking about 30 days. I'm not talking about.
30 days. I'm
gunning
staying.
down.
I'm
is
staying
just-
in my cell.
Gunning
I'm
down.
quietly staying in my cell.
Yeah.
30 days.
Gunning down is just jacking off to one.
Like
That's-
you save it.
No. You catch them walking by and you be in the shower. There was a
They
guy.
gotta add. That's sexual harassment. They're adding.
Dude, when I
They're
was
adding days.
I was in jail, Red River Parish, right? There was a guy in there. I can't remember the dude's
Where
name.
the hell
but
is
he's
Red
a-
River Parish?
Red River Parish is Alexandria.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rapides Parish.
Rapides.
Rapides Parish. Red River Parish is like Natchitoches.
Ah.
Anyways, so I'm there. There's this guy. Every time this one CO comes by, this guy's getting in the shower. He's getting, and this isn't like a a stall shower where he's got like a curtain or anything. This is like a wide open community shower. There's like 10 showers in there.
Yeah, we like a football locker room.
Yeah. And so every
Prison
time
and football locker rooms are the
Every
same.
time this one lady CO comes walking by, there he is. He's in the shower, fucking getting down, gunning her down.
Does she know?
I mean, would have to.
Do you think she likes it? Was she a good-looking lady CO?
I think they just ignore it because it happens
Yeah, what do
all
you-
the time.
Well, I bet
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. What are you supposed
Yeah.
to say? Hey, quit jerking off in the shower.
Let that thing go. It's like I'm
I
trying
guess
to.
you could just say quit jerking off in the shower, and what you just
Yeah.
like, I'm almost done.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, though. How quick do you have to be to catch them on the pass by? Damn, huh? Yeah.
And you close,
Sound
if
effect.
you close your eyes, you're done.
That sound
Well, because you're in the
effect is
shower
great.
and there's probably soap. Like if you were
Yeah.
just in the the bunk, it's just
Yeah, but then you're shaking your celly's bunk. Yeah. You don't want.
he's
you
up
don't
there
want
like
all
the
that.
lady CO. He's like,
You
yeah.
Fucking end up getting
goes, "Me
pissed
too."
off like a hippo. yeah. Just keep rocking me to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, dude, actually, that probably yeah. Oh, there he goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
She walked by today. Yeah,
Oh, this
I'm gonna
is-
get
this
the. Yeah, like if you're the bunkmate, you see her walk by, you're like, I'm about to get the best sleep tonight.
This is gross for everybody.
Is it? Wait.
We need somebody to come in, spray some pepper spray.
This is for the Patreon.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute, what is that? Nah. Yeah, we don't have a Patreon right now. We're just going on hand-to-hand donations. So if you see either of us in public,
Yeah, you asked me for one when I walked in the door.
yeah, well,
crazy,
I mean,
but,
that's yeah. We were talking about donations just before we got here. Tell me what you think of this. We've got a local comedian named Claire Kelly that shouts out to Claire. I love Claire. But she does a joke about how men should get fixed and donate to women.
Oh, so she's not a comic.
No, she's a comic. She's a comic.
She's just
a
up there
comic.
speaking her voice.
But like,
She's up there just. That sounds ridiculous.
well,
It's a joke?
I kind of agree with the getting fixed. Like she's talking about vasectomies,
May get, but then we have to pay.
but she refers to us as strays.
Oh, I have heard this joke.
No.
I have heard this. I have heard this thing on stage.
I say if we're gonna do that, I
Talking
say
mad shit. I'm sorry, Claire. I never met Claire. Is she cool?
no. She's super sweet.
Okay,
super
so
sweet.
I'm sorry. I'm just
and
fucking
funny
around.
and funny. I'm not taking away from her funny, but I love it, and I agree. We should get fixed, but I feel like we should all get fixed. My argument is that I'm
Hey,
down,
If one, everybody.
but y'all first.
Oh, it's like the vaccine. Yeah. That's how you were with the vaccine. He's still not vaccinated.
I'm half vaxxed
Half vaxxed.
and immortal.
Yeah. I'm half vaxxed, and then the vasectomy
Yeah.
will count.
Now I went back to go get the second part of the vaccine, and they were like, "No, baby, we had a hurricane."
The second part of the vaccine.
The second,
Second
yeah,
dose. Second
dose.
part. Like, I went back
Yeah.
for chapter 2.
Part 2. I went back for
Yeah,
vaccine
yeah,
part
yeah.
2.
Just none of your arms work.
But yeah, they were like, "No, baby, we had a hurricane, and that was in the refrigerator."
Oh.
So I was like, "What? Like,
So now it's the Johnson & Johnson.
drink this Dr. Pepper?"
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, baby, I'll sign your card if you drink that Dr. Pepper."
What?
Yeah.
Wow. This is real, dude.
No, that part's not
And then
real.
you got the vasectomy.
That. No, I still don't have a vasectomy.
Which is because you still want kids, right? Like, what is the time frame for this? She's just like, every man now get vaccinated.
Oh, that was the other part of the joke.
Oh.
Is that we could freeze all the cum that we wanted to, gallons of it if we wanted to.
Okay.
And I see what's happening.
Yeah.
Store up all that cum so that we can make men irrelevant.
Yeah. So but I wonder if she
Plot.
But here's the real plot twist of that
Claire
joke.
Kelly
She
is-
admits though on stage that we are the most relevant. We are the best, and we are necessary for life. Thank you, Claire, for acknowledging
Thank
that.
you,
Claire.
Claire.
Yes, thank you, guys. All right, man. Let's go.
I mean,
you need us.
Look, when I figured out that women don't have to have an orgasm to have a baby.
So here comes Claire.
No, that's Mother Nature coming to defend her children.
Yeah.
Her daughters, anyways.
We pissed off the gods.
Yeah. That maybe.
Hey, that's what we do here.
Yeah, we're just here. We're only here for the gods and not their pleasure. Anyways.
Leave it to the ladyboys in Thailand.
So what else have you been up to, man? I mean, I know that you've you started a string of mics that have all been very successful.
And shows, that's the. I talked. Yeah, it's just when you start doing comedy in a scene like this, you gotta kind of go and get it yourself, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to another comic about this. Who did you start with? Did you have anybody like who were the people that when you started they also started the same within a month of you starting?
Well, I started in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
But I did have. I mean, there's.
That's different than I'm talking about here,
yeah.
I guess. So
Yeah.
like any comic you talk to, with the exception of like a few, if you started here, you kind of started by yourself.
Yeah.
Like some people were already doing it. Like in bigger cities like Chicago, New York, LA, 8 comics, 10 comics start a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like here, I think a new comic once a month. And I mean started with, I mean people that are still doing it. We might see a new comic at every mic,
Yeah.
but then we never see them again.
Yeah.
But so the thing is, when I started doing comedy, nobody booked me. Nobody cared to talk to me.
Yeah.
And it's like they couldn't relate, which is crazy because we can all relate because we all started the same way.
Yeah.
Doing mics and like getting into shit and doing like just being awful at this and having a struggle and getting treated like shit and all that. But when I started, like people in smaller scenes, they start by themselves. They have
Yeah.
to go and no one knows them and there's no one there that's like, oh, I started last week. And you're like, me too. Or this is my first one. They're like, holy shit, me too.
Yeah.
Like none of that here. I started and no one knew it started in the month. Everybody had been hanging around for at least 2 months.
Yeah.
So knew everybody, had a set going. People knew who they liked and they were already in their groups. So I'd show up to mics and just be like, and this one we had no mics basically. We had a mic a night maybe.
Yeah.
And so it's just trying to go up there and you put your, you get there 7:30 sign up. I'm there at 7:20. I put my name number 1, then I'm going 28th. And so it's
Yeah,
just,
that shit sucks.
Yeah, and it's just in a new scene. I shouldn't say a new scene, but a small scene like this. That's just how it is. So I started just starting shows to get to know people. It
Yeah.
wasn't even about money. It wasn't about. It was just like I'm going to start a show, get to know people, and I knew pretty early on, like we talked about that before, is hosting is a big deal. You want to
Yeah.
be. I don't like when Matt calls me the best host to fuck with me.
Oh yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I want to
Well-
be. I want to be the best. I want to be a good comic. I don't want to be the best host.
Look,
But
he shouted that out about you when you weren't even there
where?
at Howlin' Wolf one night.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
I
he
thought
gave
that
him
was a great.
He gave
a
him
great
he's the
credit to
first.
your name.
He's the first guy that was touring that ever gave me like a shot. Like
Yeah.
he was the first guy I ever went on the road with. But yeah, I just started shows, and I started the one like Nola Brewery. We had that monthly show that was
Yeah.
really good, and it's so funny when you start a show. You'll have like 4 in a row. You market the same way. You do everything the same, and they're packed. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody kills, and then you'll have like 2 in a row where there's. I mean, I had J.P. Leonard, the guy, the guy that runs Lafayette Comedy, runs the club down there. I was like, we did 4 shows in a row, and they were awesome, successful, sold out. I was paying people like $100, which is not much, but for for a 45-seat room, everybody gets $100. It's like great.
Yeah.
And so I called him. I was like, this is gonna be my entrance into that world. He comes and does the show. I'm not kidding you. 2 people showed up.
Wow.
And they stayed the whole show. That's the weirdest. If 2 people show up, usually be like they stayed the whole show, and they actually laughed. They were good audience members. But I didn't talk to him again for like 2 years. And then we did, and then of course the show the very next month sold out again. Yeah. Wonderful, awesome show. People are packed audience, everybody killing. So it's just like it's a bummer. And then I realized I was doing the showcase because I wanted to be able to book people and be like, I'm cool and look at me. And then I realized the thing that makes a good scene is not how many awesome shows you have, it's how many good comics you have.
Yeah.
And there was no place for people to do comedy. So that's why I started those 2 mics, and I wanted to get them off my hands as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then I didn't run shows for a while, and then I started the one at Gasa, gave that to Marcus, and now that one's a great show every Monday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
At Gasa.
Is that still? It's been a little irregular lately.
I got out of it because it was the best. It was one of the best mics I'd ever been to in my life. Consistently every week, it was just an incredible mic. 40 comics. We don't even have 40 comics in New Orleans.
Yeah.
40 comics would show up, and then I started working kind of more regularly, and I started like going out of town. So I just didn't want to do it anymore. And Marcus, we love Marcus Mod. Trust him. I gave him the show. And he just drove it into the ground. No. And I think it's just the way, like, now that COVID's kind of gone. And as much as a mic works.
It's kind of gone.
As much as, is it ever really going to be people like you that are half-vaxxed? Drinking Dr. Peppers for your goddamn
I'm
car.
trying to collect all 12 COVIDs.
Yeah,
currently.
dude.
I'm up to 8.
Yeah. There's a really great joke I heard. I think it was, I don't remember. Never mind. Well, fuck it. But so I started that show, and I think it's just with the venue. They still do it. Yeah. I know I was talking to Marcus about it the other day. They still do it. I just think it's irregular right now because the venue, they love us. They like the guy that runs it, Brandon over there, another Brandon. He runs Gossip. He's a really great manager. He loves comedy. He supports it. Yeah. I mean, he sits there and does the sound.
Yeah, he's super
and
cool,
listen
man.
and laughs.
Super cool, yeah.
At Gossa, but I think it just gets to the point where he's running a business, and when he realized they were making decent money, we were making good money actually with that mic. But they can make twice that much when they put a band in there. Yeah. And I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think he asked us to move it. I don't remember if we had that conversation. But if he wanted to move it, I would be open to it if it meant getting back to how it was.
Right.
But, of course, it's Marcus's show now, and he can do whatever he wants. If it fails, it fails. If it keeps going, it keeps going. I did as much as I could, which is all you can really do.
Yeah.
And Marcus is a great host. Marcus runs good shows.
Oh, man.
So I'm sure he'll make the right decision.
Host. He is a great host.
He better make the right decision.
Make that decision, Marcus.
That's why you start shows in this scene, because you just want to be seen. You want to be seen. You give yourself stage time.
Yeah.
And then that's the first time I ever got paid to do comedy, was hosting good shows.
Yeah. I often say about you, it's you will know it was him by the trail of mics. Yeah, I don't know if you know the.
Because I worked so hard.
I don't know if you know the quote.
No.
No, it was him by the trail of dead. Maybe I'm.
About the trail, the Andrew Jackson thing, where didn't he like come on a bunch of blankets?
Yeah. I
couldn't even keep you straight.
He did. He came on a bunch of blankets.
What an American.
Yeah. Old cum blanket.
That's an old cum blanket.
Cum blanket Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually this is our drunk history. He got a bunch of blankets, and he just had people come all over.
Yeah. I thought it was just him.
What if we flip it too, and it's like it was like a nice thing. He covered him in like. He actually would wrap, warm hams in the blankets and gave them out to Native Americans.
When you wrap one in a cum-covered cloth,
it really solidifies it.
It helps to keep them encased.
Where would you, when you were a kid? Where would you come? Like when you jerk off at your house?
On a T-shirt.
Okay, all right. On a so you didn't do? I never. So my buddy would come in his socks. And would forget that he did it and wear them. And he would take the socks off some days, and his foot it looked like his foot been in water for 5 hours.
It was pregnant.
Dude, no. It was just like he could peel it off like it was dead skin, and it was his own cum. And it just didn't bother him.
Wow.
Yeah. So but I always just came in towels and then just rolled them up and put them at the bottom of the hamper, so my mom never knew.
Oh,
so,
she knew. She knew.
But I couldn't believe that. So T-shirt makes sense, but was it a dirty T-shirt? Were you just that lazy and were like, what is the...
It was once I came on it, for sure.
Yeah. It was soiled.
But it's nice and soft. It's, it's like...
Oh, wait, were you like...
Not, see, that's why...
Were you like just holding it over, or did you just like...
It depends on how I was jacking off. Was I standing up? Was I laying down?
Really?
Was I, on my side? Was I real lazy?
I would do that one sometime.
Yeah. Like, give yourself a reach around to the back, huh?
Like I would diddle myself. Yeah.
Man, I might have to try it, because I've got this pinky naturally sticks out.
Yeah.
So
don't all pinkies just kind of do that?
No, well, not like that.
I got this hand that just naturally.
Like, if I'm drinking, it's like.
Oh yeah, I have seen it.
And both of them are like that, man. I've broken those fucking bones so much that like.
Why?
Yeah, dude, a lot of skating. Some fighting.
So it's it's either your hand or your head.
Dude, I mean, those things are fucked.
Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
They're fucked. My hands are fucked up.
That's
bro.
actually most disgusting hands ever.
You
know that scene in Lord of the Rings when Gollum is getting tortured?
No.
That's what your hands look like.
No.
Sire! Your hands look like Gollum's hands as he's being burned alive.
I can't.
That's what your hands look like.
I can't watch Lord of the Rings, man. Just entirely too much
religious
walking.
Reasons. Walking.
It's like,
you're just like, oh, they walk
guys,
so much
where
in
the
that movie.
Fuck are they
going?
Where are they going?
That's the stupidest reason not like a movie.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like if I'm gonna watch something that long, I know The Godfather exists.
And they don't walk a lot. They're riding. They are.
A lot of riding. A
lot
of riding.
Actually, any good movie, a lot of walking. It's true.
I don't.
Any good movie, they walk a whole lot. Saving Private Ryan.
What about Forrest?
That's all just walking.
Yeah, but they were doing a lot of shooting. There was a lot of other exciting
shit. They're
definitely.
walking, but they walk to the shooting.
Yeah, such as war.
Yeah, such as life.
Yeah. I mean, Forrest Gump. Not a lot of walking there,
but a lot of running.
A lot of running.
Yeah,
that makes up for it.
That's just walking, but faster.
Yeah, and that was really only one person walking. That just shows you what a run can do for you.
Yeah. I'm tired. Figured I'll go home now.
So
it's my favorite thing is it goes like, what are we supposed to do? Just leave these people in the desert?
Yeah. See y'all later.
All the people he did good for, but he legitimately probably those people starved to death.
That is really a story. I'm sure that they found, I don't know, Jim Morrison probably did some peyote. Those people are all right. They started a hippie commune out in the middle of the desert. It's a spin-off movie.
What is it called?
Spin-off movie.
Spin-off, yeah. Forrest Gump, he'd stopped running.
Yeah. Forrest went home.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. All of that was horrible.
Yeah.
So, Alex, how long have you been doing comedy?
This is a tough conversation. Because I did comedy for the first time when I was 19. Okay. Then I didn't do it for 4 years. Then I did it again, and then I didn't do it for like 2 months. Then I did it again, didn't do it for like a year. Then I did it again. Then I was doing it when I moved back home 8 years ago, 8 years ago. I would do it once a month for like a few months, and then I wouldn't do it for like a year. But then 4 years ago in May, I started doing it full time, where I hadn't done it in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then there was just a thing. I worked for Jim Gaffigan.
Uh-huh.
And he was really great. It was really awesome. We would just always like hang out. And I worked on a movie with him where I was his assistant. So we spent 8 weeks together.
Yeah.
And then
that's super cool.
It was great. And then so when it was done, we were just talking. And he was like, "You should just do comedy." And I was like, "He's like, yeah, do comedy."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right." And then I did, and I just haven't stopped since. Like it was like mid-May when that show ended. He left, and then a week later, I was at every mic, every show I could possibly. That's when I started all the shows. Like I probably did comedy for like 6 months, and then I was like, all right, so just started shows, started hustling, and from about 4 years ago in the mid-May, which is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years consistently of every chance I can, working.
Yeah.
And then the last year, it's been great actually. Like after the pandemic, I was one of these few guys. Like you were one of the guys. You started a show. Pickle started a show. Some people.
I didn't start a show.
Oh, I thought you did.
I just helped. I had a
That's right, you were just
location.
the- yeah, yeah,
I had a
yeah, yeah,
location,
yeah.
so I turned them onto the location.
That's right.
And, that was really that was my. I just wanted to be on the shows.
Yeah. Which see, so some people did it that way. Some
Yeah.
people would help and then just ask to be on the shows.
Yeah.
I wanted to run it because I was like, I want to know. I felt like if I ran good shows, it would make them think I was a better comic.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all.
Well,
But it does help in the sense of people can see you give a shit.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps.
and it gives you a credit in another field of comedy. Though.
Sure, and it gives you
Yeah.
a whole idea of how things, but it does, I will say this, running so many shows that just were good shows. Like, this is not me toot my own horn. All the shows I've ever run, but the exception of one mic that I did at a venue that was just kind of tanking, all the shows I've ever done have been good shows. They were always good for the comics, always had decent crowds, always were run well. So it kind of, whenever I go to another place, I have to physically turn that part of my brain off.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, what the fuck is this? And I just be like, it's not your show. Just do this.
Yeah.
You're here to do your time. Do your time. Do your, you get to be a comic now.
Yeah.
And that, sometimes I have trouble doing that, but I've gotten better at it the less I've hosted. That's why when Matt says he's one of the best hosts, I think he's doing it to piss me off because he knows how much I don't want to be that anymore. And I actually hosted for the Voss shows. And I hadn't hosted in forever, and I'm a bad host now, but I still have all those skills that you learn from being a host. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which I'm okay. I'm okay being a bad host with the skills that hosting teaches
Well, you communicate with the crowd. I feel very well, and I know that like I've seen you get flustered at people just because you didn't know exactly how to handle them at the time.
Yeah.
Which
we
is
haven't been doing this long. There's still so many lessons to learn.
No. It's totally understandable. But to see where, from that example, to see where you are now, man, it's been really impressive. We've been real fortunate to share a lot of time together.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why I wanted to come. That's why I was so on you, and I was like, you can't, like, what's that, like, when you're like, we only shoot Wednesdays. I was like, what the fuck? But I get it. But, like, that's why I was so pressed, because the fact that you guys are doing this makes me so happy.
Yeah,
this is great.
Thank
this
you.
is,
Thank
I mean, I've talked to, old Grimace in there, and it's just the fact that this is a space that y'all have that is, like, being utilized, and y'all are doing it the right way. Like, there's no half-assing here, which is a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
And there's certain comics that we know together that have all these ideas and they want to do things, and they'll do them, but they'll just do them to do them, and they don't do them right, and there's things missing, or they just don't do it all the way. And the fact that you just do it, like you and a couple other guys or a few people, that even if our acts or your acts aren't there, it's just like one of those easy things. He's like, oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like you're doing all the right things now.
Well, thank you.
Which is important. So that's.
I don't make a lot of moves. But I want the
You're just
ones
a name
that
guy.
I want yeah. Well, I want the moves that I do make to be right.
And here's the thing: is you'll start making more.
Yeah.
Like right now, you're treading, and then once you kind of, I don't know how. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll in 2 weeks you'll be like, fuck this shit, and you'll quit comedy forever. Who knows? That's the craziest shit about comedy. Is like some of the funniest people in the world that started doing. They're just not even doing like comics here. I mean, there's a few comics I can name that I think are going to quit, that shouldn't, but are probably going to quit.
Yeah.
Just because it gets hard, man. It's a game of, it's not like, it's a game of endurance. It's not even a game of like, it's endurance. It's not looking at anybody else's career, not looking at what anybody else is doing. Focus on yourself.
That's the truth. Boy, you can't look at anybody
Focus on your stage time and focus on your material and just do everything else around that. But so, and you're one of the guys that's doing that. So
thank you. I appreciate that acknowledgement, bro. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Now, you said you did it once and then didn't do it again for 4 years. Horrific bomb?
Yeah, man. I feel like I told this story a bunch on podcasts. But, yeah, you remember Corey Mack?
Oh, yeah.
So Corey Mack used to run the show in Hammond.
Interference.
No. That's in Mandeville.
That's in Mandeville. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
But he used to run the show in Hammond. It was just a mic, but not a lot of comics go. So a bunch of comics, whoever would go, would get like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, I'm new. I've never tried comedy before. I want to go up. And he's like, all right, you just want to do 5? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, show up this time. Just show up at this time. The show will start. I'll give you a drink. Blah, blah, blah. So I show up, and I'm already drinking, boozing, because I'm about to go to college. So I'm just like, I want to do this before I go to college. I've always loved it. Let me see if I got anything. And I was going to college in L.A., so I was like, if it would have worked, I think if it would not have gone this way, I probably would have done comedy in L.A., but given up much. I would probably not be doing comedy.
Yeah.
Because I would have went to L.A. and realized it was not that way. And it would have been way harder. Plus, I would have been, in college doing all this other shit, and I just would have stopped completely
Yeah.
and be like, at least I tried. But so I go to the show. I show up kind of already drunk with two of my friends. We're being loud and boisterous, and this girl I'm seeing at the time, she comes to the show, and we sit front row. I just didn't know any better. So I sit front row, drinking, boozing, being drunk as shit, making out with this girl during the show, feeling like being wild idiots. And then there's a guy named Greg Hamilton. So Corey comes up to me, pulls me aside when I'm at the bar, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to let you headline. Do 10. Just headline, do 10. I'm drunk, and I'm thinking, I thought comedy was you just went up and, I knew you had to write things, but I thought most of it was just every time you saw somebody, they were making it up. Like, I thought they had an idea, they had jokes, but it was just 10 minutes of making it up, and then the next week, it would be kind of similar things, but it would just be more made-up nonsense just about skeletons, but it's just a whole new thing about skeletons.
Yeah.
They just wanted to talk about skeletons. That's how they felt. They felt about talking about skeletons, so they went and did it, and it was just funny. And so that's what I thought it was. So I'm full of confidence because I'm a funny guy. I'm like, this is going to be, that's part of, I'm like, I'm funny. I'm fucking funny. I'm going to be able to do this. Duh. Like, what's different?
Yeah.
The ignorant shit you think when you're doing comedy. So I go to the show, and like I said, boozing and all that kind of stuff. 19 years old, using a fake ID, but just boozing. Hammer drunk, dude. By a third comic. Loud, obnoxious, idiot.
Yeah.
Making out with this girl in the front row, going back to the bar and being loud, not caring. So Corey Mack comes up to me, he's like, and he's being so nice. He's being so nice, so genuine. Doesn't make me think anything's wrong at all. I even think was on that show. I might be wrong. It might not have been her, but it was another prominent female comedian that's still working in the scene. I don't think it was her. Maybe it was her. Maybe that's why she hates me. Because she's like, I remember that.
It could be a list of reasons.
Oh, it's definitely a list of reasons. I'm a man. So I do the show, and we got to bleep that out. Can we? I just thought about that. Can we actually bleep out that name,
Yes.
please, for sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's bleep out.
Yes.
Let's bleep out that name and any reference to that person. Sorry. So anyway, I'm for real. We have to bleep that out. Okay. So anyway. So he's like, you're going to headline. I'm like, great. So I go back to my seat. I tell everybody, like, I'm going to headline. Dude, I'm probably going to get paid. Headliners get paid. And I'm at the, so we keep doing it. And then Greg Hamilton's on the show. Do you remember Greg Hamilton?
No.
He had just won Louisiana's Funniest Person. And he truly is, still to this day, but another one of these guys that I don't really see doing it anymore. He was one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my life. I'd seen him before because I'd gone to shows, curious.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes up right before me and continues for an hour to just roast me and my friends. Doesn't do material. Like, he might do material, but doesn't do anything but roast me. And I don't know what's going on. I think this is hilarious. I'm part of the show. The whole crowd's loving it. I have no idea. They all hate me. And it's a decent crowd. For an open mic, it's like 20 people. So then it's my turn to go up. I go up, and I'm just getting booed. I get through, like, I just getting booed. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, why is this happening to me? And Greg's like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker, from the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I do my 3 minutes of material, and I kind of get some laughs, and then I start trying to, like, riff, and it just goes awfully. And so I get off stage thinking I did 10. I did like 4.5 minutes. And I just, it was, and the girl that I was with 2 minutes into my act, she didn't even stay for the whole thing. 2 minutes in, she left. She just left. Called her friend, must have got outside, left, walked away, didn't even stay. My friends had to carry me because I was just so, after I realized how bad I'd done because no one talked to me.
You had to carry, your knees gave out.
I
You
was
went
just,
faint,
I was so bad. And so then 2 days later, I flew to L.A. and didn't even go to a comedy club for like a year and a half. Didn't even like look at comedy, which is a good thing because then I started going to comedy clubs out there and just like going in, like meeting comics. I think I might have done comedy once.
Yeah.
But I was playing college football, so I was always busy. I wasn't really drinking at all in college.
College football?
I played college football. I didn't start. I wasn't good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I played. I paid for school.
Yeah.
So I got the occasional scratch, and yeah.
Towel boy is considered part of the team, huh?
Towel boy. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Because they call them football boys, right?
Yeah. Is that right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
football.
I know nothing about sports.
Nothing.
Nothing.
With that accent.
Yeah. Surprising,
That's
huh?
great. Well,
Uh-oh.
sorry.
No worries.
Hey, so is it just me, or is it like you guys can turn the AC down? I think if you want to.
Oh, yeah?
Good thing I brought cologne. I'm just gonna crack the bottle open under my arm.
From,
Just
Yeah, yeah. Are you hot? You're hot. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. Because I'm looking at you. I'm like, he's beating up over here.
Am I really? Fucking hell, dude.
Starting to.
I should have just worn this is the shirt I want to wear on the show tonight. Which, by the way, I know this comes out in 2 weeks, but I'm pumped for these shows.
Yeah,
tonight.
I am too.
Like,
I am too. I'm glad to be
I
on
love
them.
everybody on the lineup. Brandon Hayes, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so another one of these guys that you want to like give the finger to because I've never seen him do bad.
Yeah,
And he's been doing it for a cup of coffee. Like you know,
and he's got that awesome room out in Harahan.
Oh, I didn't know he's running a room now.
Yeah, on Sunday nights.
He doesn't need to run a room. What the fuck's he doing?
On Sunday nights, yeah, he's doing his thing out there, man. He's pulling good crowds.
We got Karen on the 9 o'clock.
It's a bunch of white folks, so he feels real comfortable.
Yeah, dude, but you can. Yeah, dude, hold on. That's such a fun thing. I was fucking with Brandon about this the other day, about how he was like, I feel comfortable in any room. I'm like, yeah, I bet you do, man.
Yeah.
I bet you do. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does, because he'll go out there and do that room at Tiggs for sure. And that is
Tiggs
and Marrero.
Is that his room, or is that
No.
Pickles?
That's Jeremiah Shalom's room.
Who are these people?
You would know Jeremiah if you saw him. He does Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Like Jewish shalom.
Yeah. He
That's
does docuality TV. They put out a good bit of content. Yeah.
Sounds fake.
Well, I mean, he's he's got a room out. He's got a room out there at Tiggs Bar, Tiggs Neighborhood Bar.
Nice. Good room.
Man, it is a real truthful room.
That's why I hate that
you know what is funny and what is not.
I've lost touch of the scene. Like now that I'm gone so often,
Yeah.
I kind of lost touch. Like I have my friends, but I'll meet new comics, especially, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Alex," and I'm like, "Hey," and then like they tell me about all these rooms, do the show, and it's just, I mean, it's nothing. Like as much as nothing changes. As much as everything changes, nothing changes. It's like it's the same shows, same kind of group, same thing, just different places. And I kind of love it. I love to see that.
We venue hop a lot down here.
You got to, because it's the way of the world, man. That is how the world works.
But thank God we've got at least one dedicated comedy club. Yeah.
Shout out.
Yep. Shout
That's
out
where the shows
Comedy
are, right?
House,
Comedy
Nova.
House, New Orleans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody there running a good room.
Yeah, I was able to see Elliot last night.
Is it Thompson or Thomas? Because I think I fucked it up in the video I posted.
I don't have my phone on me, but I think it's Thompson.
Call in if you guys know him.
I think it's Thompson. I'm pretty sure it's Elliot Thompson.
Elliot is Elliot Thompson. Yep.
Yeah. Nah, super funny guy. Real nice guy. So yeah, I'm excited for tonight, man.
2 shows back to back. It's always fun not having to leave a venue and doing 2 shows. Like it's the best. It really is.
It is.
The
Absolutely.
convenience it's the best, and you know that's where you're making your bread that night. It's where you're doing your room. It's a big hang.
Yeah.
And then we're going out after.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Daniel, are you coming?
Maybe.
Let's go.
Might drink a White Claw or.
Oh, speaking of White Claws, damn! I gotta. So who are your sponsors on this?
On this, Grimtown Studios.
Grimtown.
Yeah, and shouts out Grimtown Studios. Thank you for the space
Can we
and
just shout out to the
tech
shout
work
out,
and
Grim?
all of it. Grim.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be an impeccable hang.
Yeah.
I'm good right now. Because I usually don't drink before shows, but tonight I think just because I'm gonna be in town, I haven't seen a lot of these guys in a while. I think as soon as the show's done, I'm gonna drink and drive.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm gonna go
and drive.
I'm gonna go get a good meal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a burger from a Bulani Tavern.
Okay.
You know Bulani? It's got the best burger in New Orleans. This is a hot button issue for some people, but it is the best burger in New Orleans. Bulani Tavern on Magazine, best burger in New Orleans. I did a piece for the Travel Channel Food Network about this burger. It's called Love NOLA TV. I don't think they're on a Travel Channel anymore, or if they ever were. But it's like Love NOLA TV is this thing I've hosted shows for, and they do they do food stuff, and we did some comedy things. I did like a Man on the Street a few times, but I did a whole piece on it, and it was just so beautiful, dude. I can't even talk enough about this burger.
Well, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's the best. Oh my god, it's the best burger.
They char it.
They char it. They char that, and they kind of grill the
The bun.
It's perfectly, dude. The cheese is on the bottom.
I love how you'll only say parts of sentences.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the rest is just left up
That's
to
right.
interpretation.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'm like, well, dude,
What? They grill what? The pickles?
bro,
What the fuck?
Bro, they do, dude.
Yeah. You wouldn't even believe it. They grill the lettuce.
You wouldn't even believe they cooked a fucking burger, dude.
Yeah. All the way. No parasites. Yeah, boulogne.
Boulogne.
Where's that at on magazine?
You know how you just know where a place is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good part. That's the good part. Just drive
Yeah.
until you smell burgers.
No,
and
but
then pull over.
it's right next to. Wow, I'm having a massive brain fart. I feel like I'm making everything up. I just lied about everything.
Yeah.
No, Boulogne Tavern, Bouligny Tavern. Great cocktails, like a really great bar. It's not a
Bologna.
Bologna. This whole story was Bologna Tavern.
Bologna. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, it's a great burger. But we digress.
Yes, that is. I do that a lot. I digress a lot. So tell me some of your comedic influences. Who is
Who? You just went. I've never met this person in my life. So tell me some of your comedic influences.
this is the caring side of me.
You have cards.
This
You're like,
yeah.
So
yeah.
when did you first fall off your bike?
I assume that they were putting you on a bike early, just for the purpose.
I still
of
wear a
falling.
helmet.
Yeah. Yeah. Bump your head a lot.
Comedic influences. Brian Regan and Dov Davidoff were the first comedy specials I ever saw.
Interesting.
Dov
Davidoff.
I saw Dov
yeah.
Filthy Operation, where he's he's on stage in New York, but it's just like a filthy New York alleyway.
Yeah.
And he's just up there, just fucking angry and like not angry, but he's almost like he's just up there.
He's
like,
astounded.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
he's just like, can you fucking believe
Yeah.
it? I don't even believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching this man lose his mind.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to watch. And I was like, oh, you can do that in that way.
Yeah.
And I grew up like listening to like all these classic radio shows, like Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers. Do you remember that?
No.
They're the car guys on NPR with my dad. Whenever I would drive somewhere with my dad, he'd listen to that, or Prairie Home Companion. So that was like my intro to like comedy, was that shit.
Okay.
Good question. I haven't thought about this in a while.
Well, that was going to be my next one. Was
Yeah.
What was your first exposure?
My dad. My
Yeah.
dad is very slapstick,
Yeah.
and he's got such a temper too. My dad is. It was so funny watching him just be funny and then just like be like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Like my dad tried to hit me with a shovel because I accidentally threw sand on my brother's face when we were just digging a hole, and he swung it from across this big pile of dirt. And I think he didn't swing it to hit me, but he just wanted me to know for the rest of my life
That he
might.
could have,
Yeah,
yeah.
that he would if he needed to
Yeah.
hit me in the face with a shovel.
Yeah.
So my dad was funny. My mom's not very funny, but my mom, she was like my first ever intro to like, which is so funny because when you start comedy, you think you do it for all these, and it's ultimately you started because of the people you grew up around.
Yeah.
And I was a short, out of shape kid, so being funny, before I even knew what funny was or could be, or that it was a job, or that people did it for a living, I was just being funny because I just was naturally kind of funny, and it was the only way that I got to fit in.
Yeah.
Which is like, the so shitty obvious, but it's really what it was. I was just always, only reason anybody talked to me or didn't beat the shit out of me is because I was funny.
Yeah.
But my mom was the first ever tough crowd. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
like make jokes, or me and my dad would be being funny, and she'd be like, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
well, this is fun. Like, we're killing. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Get out of here, bitch. But yeah, my mom, but the first time I ever made my mom laugh was actually saying the F word. I had this joke I would fuck with my mom
We
about.
went for that cheap laugh.
Yeah,
Huh?
no. So she would, whenever we would curse in the house, she would like didn't want to hear it, because my
Yeah.
mom was, and I used to say she treats the F word like it's like a bad friend. She'd be like, I don't want that fuck coming around my house. Keep that fuck out of my house.
Nice.
And
Nice.
13-year-old kid doing this,
Yeah.
and she laughed, but then she was also mad because I was just saying fuck, and she
Yeah.
laughed at it. So that was like the first joke I think I ever made with my family, where I got them rolling, and I just kept riffing on that. So then that was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And then then I started watching comedy, and like the greats, like the same ones everybody else watched. But Brian Regan and Dov Davidoff. Brian Regan, I watch, who the hell eats 2 cookies? All that, the Pop-Tart bit, like, and then like so actually I had to audition for a comedy, like. I had to audition for a piece in college for this play, and they wanted you to read a monologue. I didn't read a monologue. I did Brian Regan's the eye exam bit. He's like when it's just like how do you? I can't even remember the bit now, but it's basically he's talking about the eye exam, and he gets so nervous because he hates failing tests. And so the thing will come across. He's like, yeah, no, now, go, now, now. Yeah, no, there, yes, no, later. And he's just fucking up the thing. And so I did the whole bit. It's like a 3-minute bit, and it got me into the program. So that was like the first time I ever performed comedy because I was 8, going to college. I was 19. But yeah, Brian Regan and Dov Davidoff. I wouldn't say Dov Davidoff was an influence, but he's the first. Remember, and then Brian Regan was.
Yeah.
Martin Short. Martin Short. Because I grew up loving movies. I always thought I was gonna be a comedic actor. I was always just
acting. You were doing that before comedy. Yes.
I was trying, sure,
yeah.
and then it.
Still.
Yeah, and then COVID, and it's all like I work in film too. So and I've worked in film, so I've been that guy that's like I've been around it. So a lot of it had to do with, I kind of got canceled in a way. It was weird. So I kind of wasn't able to act anymore here in New Orleans. And so then I kind of stopped that, but I was already on the out because I was really loving comedy, and I was already around this Hollywood shit enough. Like when the Will Smith thing, I remember seeing it and being like, yeah, dude, like these people are fucking insane. I grew up watching movies, being involved in it, wanting to be around it. I would act, or I was on sets for all of after. I've been on sets the last 8 years of my life, film sets, and I've been being an assistant to executives. I've been an assistant, and they're not all bad, but I've just been in the rooms with these people. I've been to award shows. I've been to after parties, and I've just seen it firsthand. These people are fucking insane. They are very truly wildly insane, and not all of them, but when the Will Smith thing. I also saw it as that guy's got some. It's not even that he's insane. It's just that the people that are around him can drive you insane.
Yeah.
Like you lead you put yourself in a room. It's going to affect you later on. Eventually, eventually you will be affected and start to think and act like those people. That's just how it goes. Yeah. Like in comedy, you hang out with funny people, you're going to be funny. Like you hang out with hard workers, you're going to work hard. You hang out with mathematicians, you're going to get good at math.
Yeah, hopefully.
You hang out with psychotic, narcissistic people, you're going to start being that way. So anyway, so get out while you can. So I got kind of canceled here in New Orleans in terms of acting, so I can't really act in New Orleans anymore. And then I always kind of was on the outs. It just made me focus harder on stand-up. And so I was like, all right, cool, that's what we're doing. And it just, like I said, again, another weirdly, an awful, terrible thing that happened. Weirdly a blessing in disguise because it's the only reason I am doing as well and kind of going, doing an opening for the people and getting consistent work the way I am now. And hopefully it continues. So,
how you feel about talking about that?
It's just, we've had a conversation about it, I think. It had to do with just, the only reason I don't want to talk about it is because I just don't give a shit, and it involves another person, so it's just like,
we want to address it. Okay, cool.
We could talk about it after. I think we've talked about it, and I know I brushed on it with Pickle last time I was here. Yeah. And it's a weird thing. Yeah, we could talk about it later. We talk about it off camera.
That's what's up. So tell us what you got coming up, Alex. I know that you're always on the cusp of something big. What you got in the pot?
So, me and Matt Owens are planning some trips on the East Coast here soon. I know he wants to go on the road, so I don't really have any dates for that. But I'll just kind of keeping. I'll be in Phoenix for a week in July. Then right after I'll be in Vegas at the Laugh Factory in Vegas, and then I'll be Side Splitters Tampa with Matt Rife. I just opened for Matt. So if your name's not Matt, I don't open for you. But Matt Rife, who's another really great comic guy.
He was just down
here. Did you meet him?
No, I didn't.
Hang out with us?
No.
He's another really great guy. He's on Wild and Out, but he's been doing comedy. He used to open for Dan Cook.
That's where I recognize him from.
But he really is he's a guy that is just right. I love him. He's 26, but he's been doing comedy 12 years. He's been doing comedy, maybe 10, but he's been doing comedy so fucking long. He just put out an hour. You should go watch it. It's called Matt Rife OnlyFans on YouTube. It's a really great special. And it really gets into him too. I like it more because it's funny, but it's almost like a little small of a documentary piece because a lot of people they just know him from Wild and Out. Yeah. So it's a nice thing because he put it out and you watch it, and it's and you kind of know more about him now, which is cool. And I've been touring with him, going to do shows with him on the road, and I'm watching his new hour, and it's just so goddamn good.
Yeah.
So he's another guy that's just right there, and I'm just gonna keep swimming in that wake, baby. Just swimming in that wake. So, yeah, just that kind of stuff, and then stuff around here. I mean, I moved to Austin. I'll move to Austin here in about a month, and then just get rid of everything, start from scratch again. But
well, we'll be
at
glad
least
to
with
see
some
you
experience.
go.
Okay.
No, not in a bad way.
No.
Not in a bad way. We'll have a place to stay.
Yeah.
When we come out there,
Yeah.
right in your front yard.
Yeah. No, you can't do that.
No,
I'm gonna be homeless.
I heard that everybody
rent goes up $100 a month. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and I'm not doing bad with money, but like I don't know. It's like when you go to New York and you try to look for a good place, and you're like, where is this money coming from?
Yeah.
Like you look at a building that's got 1,000 units in it, and the cheapest one is like $1,800 for a 400-foot studio.
Yeah.
And you're like, where is this money coming from?
Yeah.
Because I've been working hard.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. But I have a good job, and I make good money, but I'm still like, and I have a better job than most people I know that are in comedy, and I'm also making, this is my last real job I have, the one that ends in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm making decent money with comedy, and the dates are picking up, then I'm not going to have a job for the foreseeable future. So it's like, I'm even still like, even in Austin, I'm like, where the fuck is this money coming from?
Yeah.
Who's making this money? Like, is Austin just full of doctors and lawyers?
Well, no, it's not. It's full of homeless people.
Yeah, well, it's actually not as bad as it was. Texas don't play no shit, dude. Texas don't. There's more dead homeless people on the street now than there's alive.
More dead homeless people.
I feel like I'm sweating through my shirt.
Wow.
This is awesome.
You are. It's seductive.
Oh, I am a little bit.
It's seductive.
God damn, dude, I'm at the shower.
Yeah. Now, well, we're almost done.
No, I want to keep going, dude. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
What time do you need to leave?
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah. Oh, no, 4:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been shorter.
What about you, though, man? What's up with you?
Well, I just booked a bunch of dates for Comedy House.
Good.
That
Coming up in like the near future.
Yeah, over the next couple of weeks.
Plug 'em.
I don't have the dates on me, so I'm gonna have to record dates at like.
Oh,
I'll
you just
do a
like
little segment. So thank you, Comedy House. I'm doing at the end of the month. I think it's the 28th, maybe. I'm doing Biloxi for Patty Dwyer at Sky Bar.
No shit.
Yeah,
Patty Dwyer.
that's gonna
do
be.
I know that person?
I'm not sure if you do or not. She's come over and rock stages with us a couple of times, especially when we were doing the show out at the lake. Her and Krangus came out.
What a fucking name.
Krangus?
The only worst name in comedy besides Krangus Gillespie is Brandon Bruffett.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Pickle. Do you know?
I'm
how,
ranking.
Do you know how much I used to piss Pickle off because I would not bring him up as Pickle?
Yeah.
I'd bring up as Niccolo Giordana.
Yeah.
His God-given Italian, beautiful fucking name.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Don't call me that." I'm like, "Okay, what?"
Yeah.
And I still fuck with him about it, but I've learned to love him.
Yeah, he's Pickle. They gave him
Pickle.
that name because he's bumpy.
Would it be crazy if
he's
he
got
like in a
jaundice.
week he's like, "No." Yeah. Damn it, that was a good one. Yeah. Jaundice. What a fun word to say.
I love Pickle, man. I love Pickle. It's,
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love for him to one day to start going by Nicola, and then but he's like, I want to go by Nicola Giordano, my name.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but everything he's built,
I
like
think
it's like Larry the Cable Guy was like, I just want to start going by my nev George Singleton, and people
Yeah.
are like, you can't.
Yeah. Fuck that.
So he's just forever Larry the Cable
Yeah.
Guy. Like, what is his real name? Larry?
Yeah.
If Pickle's gonna be called Pickle, he's got to add something else. Let's make a real name. Let's make a new name for Pickle. It's
Like-
Pickle, but like Pickle
I
the.
think Pickle Nick.
It's a little dicey.
I
There's
like
like certain
Pickle Nick.
words white people can't say.
Nicky the Picky.
Nicky
We can't say Pickle?
Can't say Snicker anymore. Too close.
Snicker.
Too close, dude. See, well, don't even say it like that. Wow. We gotta. No, but yeah. So Pickle the Cable Guy, like Larry the Cable Guy. Was it Pickle the open micer? What are we gonna call? You're the name guy.
Pickle is. I always refer to him as New Orleans' most hosting leprechaun.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I thought you were the name guy. Wow.
Well, I am.
It's pretty bad.
I am. I gave your mom your name.
Hey!
Talk about under the influence.
Talk about fucking
Ah.
lowballing me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
opened up to you, and then you Tell everyone you fucked my
Hey
mother.
man, that's well. I didn't say I fucked.
My
her.
dad fucked your dad in half,
though. Yeah, I love that joke. I love that joke. That's hilarious. But I've seen my dad's dick, and thanks, Dad. Yeah.
He's got a small dick.
I have a very average sized dick.
I don't know if you've. I could put your balls in my mouth last time. I went out.
You could actually fit my. It's amazing because you can fit the entirety of my groin. It's amazing how you can swallow my hip without including my legs in that.
I'm telling you, man. You think I could do this with a tiny piece?
Holy shit! Look, this guy gives me a blowjob. It looks like he's swallowing a bullfrog.
This is how I usually sit at places, but I didn't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, go ahead. Sit. Sit down. I want you to be comfortable, man.
Well, this chair's gonna be dark blue when I get up.
Yeah. I believe that. Hey there. It'll match your shoes.
Oh, dude, this is actually.
Look at that.
Wow, look at us.
Look at that. You're doing the thing, man. You're doing the thing.
What are you gonna get up here? We gotta put you something up there.
Well, I was thinking. I don't know. I wasn't thinking anything.
Nothing.
If you can get me an edible arrangement of Hubix pies, lovely Hubix pies.
Oh, that's the one, dude.
That would be.
Honestly, Howard, they're the sponsor right there. They're coming back. They're going to be looking for anything. You got to contact Hubix. I think that's the good idea. I think that's the move.
Yeah. Them and Brown's Dairy.
Brown's Dairy? Do you have a Brown's Dairy tattoo? You do.
That was the first one.
That one. I used to live right next to that the old.
The bottling factory.
Yeah, the bottling's right there right there off Martin Luther. Not Martin Luther.
It's off Aretha Castle.
Yeah.
It's right behind Hoshun and all that. Yeah.
Oh, Hoshun.
But that's not. It's actually off Barone, I think, is the street or.
Yeah. Because it runs right behind it.
Yeah, it's a fucking lot now. It upsets me every time I go by it. And I'm disgusted.
So all right, do we have to get out of here?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, you were talking about, like, what about you with stand-up? Like, because you are very different from most stand-ups, obviously, in the sense of just, like, your demeanor, your background, that kind of thing. What was the thing? Because you were breaking hands, like, you were breaking your hands skateboarding.
Well...
Because I don't know this. We haven't had this conversation. I don't know.
So,
how many times have you had this conversation on this podcast?
None.
No one's ever asked you?
None.
You pieces of shit guests.
No.
You fucking ask about this guy. He's dying here.
We're here to learn about my guests.
Yeah. Because you're not an influencer yet, so you need to ask.
Yeah, not you. That's exactly right. I'm striving to be under the influencers. Really,
you are
me.
under.
I am under the influencers.
Dude, that's crazy to even think of myself. No one should ever call themselves an influencer. Even
I don't
if
think
you
so.
are the definition of it, to call yourself that is wildly narcissistic and
Yeah.
psychotic.
So the whole under the influencers premise is really like.
Oh, it's a great name.
It's
I'm
like
just saying, yeah.
Not influencers, not people who have the biggest platform, or it's about shining the light on people in my immediate reach.
Yeah, love it. No, I love it. Yeah.
You know, hopefully it'll teach me and help other folks that are listening or watching to not take the people around them for granted.
Yeah.
easily.
I like that.
Thank
All right,
you.
but yeah. So stand up.
So,
because I don't
misery.
think we've never had this conversation.
Misery got me there. You know, you hear people say it takes a lot of balls. Man, it doesn't take a lot of balls if you could be miserable for a long time. And it seriously, I was so in such a dark place that I couldn't even watch stand up. I would.
But did you grow up loving it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And same with you. My dad turned me on to Second City TV, SCTV,
nice,
and SNL way early. I had access to his George Carlin and Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby, and back when he was in his prime.
Sorry,
and Jimmy J.J. Walker from Good Times. A bunch of those records. Red Fox was one that I probably shouldn't have had that one, but it was my dad. He was single at the time and shit. So like whatever.
Really, that's a red. Wow, that's a one. That's one. That's a
yeah.
real,
It was
that's a
dirty.
reach.
It was dirty
That's just
as
a
hell.
reach, but I just mean that's a reach for like you grew up in kind of the country. So
Yeah,
Red Fox is
yeah.
a Red Fox. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was a hip dude. But yeah, definitely my first exposure to comedy was through him, and then when I wanted to do it, and I didn't know that I wanted to do it necessarily. I didn't know that I could, but I would be watching stand up, and I would literally bust out into tears. I wouldn't even be able to watch it, and it was to where it got to where I could progressively watch less and less. Like, and, you know, they applaud when he's coming off stage. I cry. Halfway through, tell a joke that I think I could have done or done better. Cry. You know, opening credits. Cry. Ladies and gentlemen.
Cry.
You know, boom.
Brandon Bruffitt's too special. I'm crying.
And
I'm crying up here.
And then I heard somebody say that if you find something that makes you well up, it was Jordan Peterson. I heard Jordan Peterson say that if you find something that makes you well up,
everybody loves Jordan Peterson.
It makes you want to cry. That's what you should walk through.
Yeah.
And so that's on my merry way. I fucking.
Well, so where was your first? So why did you move to Chicago? First stand up?
I went to Chicago. My girl was going to Chicago.
That's
She
right.
come to me one day. My ex, and I say my past girlfriend, but it makes it sound like I killed her. So, yeah, she's a nurse and wanted to travel. She came to me.
She was a nurse.
Yeah. So she came to me one day and she was like, I want to travel. I want to go to Chicago. I want you to come with me. There's this place there called Second City. And she didn't know anything about it. And she definitely didn't know my exposure to it through my pops. So when she said that shit, I was just like, yeah, I'm going. I took off, man.
So your first mic was a Chicago open mic.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known it. There wasn't anybody there, much less all of Chicago.
What do you mean?
There was nobody in the place.
Like no comics?
There was nobody in the place. So when I went on stage, there was a guy with me that I rode there with. He walked out during part of it, and then the guy that was putting on the mic.
Yeah. Wow. That's surprising. When did
Yeah.
you start? How many years ago?
4 years ago in April.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
oh wow. So we technically the same class.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
And
me and you, buddy.
Yeah. That's just it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So yeah, I was there. I did
What
that
got
for
you
like,
hooked, or you were just like, this is all I want to do. It doesn't matter how hard it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on it.
I was because I started. I was up in the air.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we'll see. And then you just kind of get an itch and it starts going. But I know some people, they're like, they just started doing. They're like, oh, no, I already made it up in their mind. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a stand-up. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It took me a few months. So yeah, but that's interesting. I didn't know you started in Chicago. Wow.
Well, it's
I mean, I knew you started in Chicago, but I didn't know it was just that much on a whim. And
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you said you were very much just, this is what I'm doing. Doesn't matter what it takes.
yeah. I was gonna do it so I could watch other people's specials again. Yeah,
What do you think
just so I could watch comedy again.
So you could, yeah, wow.
Yeah, man.
So it was therapy for you, which I hate, but it's slowly starting to realize it is weirdly a form of therapy.
Yeah,
I
but
hate to
that's
say
why I
that.
need longer sets.
Yeah.
Because I can't
yeah.
afford an hour on the couch. So so.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, we've got to wrap up. Me and you gonna be late for these shows if we don't. I'd hate to get fired from one show over another show.
Yeah.
So, guys, we won't see y'all on stage later. Maybe we will, but thank you for watching Under the Influencers. Alex, thanks for coming in today, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Just follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's it's Alex Cureau. Instagram's just my name, @AlexCureau. Posting funny stuff.
Yeah. At Brandon
I gotta
Bruffett
plug
Comedy.
something.
At Brandon Bruffett Comedy.
Because look, if this comes out in 2 weeks, we're still doing shows. You got shows around town. Come to the shows.
we are.
Put this in the reel. Mark
Yeah.
it with tag it with hashtags, and let's get that algorithm cooking.
Yeah. Share this shit. Make us
Share it.
famous.
Fucking smash that like button.